Hello, welcome everybody. We're going to be doing a more fast-paced yoga flow today. So we're going to go ahead and start standing at the front of our mat. Sweep your arms up overhead and release to a halfway forward fold. Take a breath here and release all the way down. Give a good generous bend in those knees. Halfway lengthen and release. Then we're going to roll up through the spine, sweeping the arms up overhead and back down to our forward fold. We're just warming up the body here, warming up our muscles, hamstrings. Halfway lengthen and forward fold. Just take a moment here. Then we're going to go ahead and step that left leg backwards. We're going to sweep the arms up for warrior one. And then bring your hands together for prayer. Go ahead and bring your left elbow to your right knee and twist. And release. Bring those arms up and back to the ground. Coming to that forward fold. And go ahead and roll up through the spine. Sweep the arms up overhead. And exhale, forward fold. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Step your right leg back, sweep the arms up, warrior one. Go ahead and then bring your hands to a prayer position and your right arm to your left knee. And release. Go ahead and come back to that forward fold. Rolling up through the spine, sweep the arms up overhead, and exhale, release. Then go ahead and step back into a plank position. Just get your plank situated here. And we're going to release down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Just take a deep breath here, stretching through the back. Push back into your downward facing dog. Just warming up our legs here. Bending the knees if you'd like. And we're going to roll through the spine forward to a plank. Chaturanga Dandasana. And on your next exhale, push back into downward facing dog. And then we're going to hover the knees. Bend your knees and hover them over your mat, like as if you were going to go into a tabletop position, but don't. We're just going to hold it here. And push back up into down dog. We're going to do that again. And hover the knees. Really keep your position strong. Keep your hands in line with your shoulders. And just hold it here a little longer. Really working that lower body and working the shoulders. Deep breaths and push back into downward facing dog. Again, just release that tension in the legs. And we're going to do this one more time. Take a deep breath. And exhale, release down. Hover the knees over the floor. Deep breaths here. Focus on your breathing. Okay, hopefully you feel the burn a little bit. Release, go ahead and push back into that downward facing dog and roll through the spine to a plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. Deep breaths here. Go ahead and stretch out the back. And we're going to push back into our child's pose. And come up into downward dog. Roll through to plank. Up, Chaturanga Dandasana. And back to downward facing dog. We're going to go ahead and step to the front of our mat here and sweep the arms up overhead on an inhale, and exhale. Bring your left leg back for warrior one. And just hold it here for a second. Really just feeling the tension in our legs. Go ahead and try to push off that back leg. We're going to balance here. Bringing the arms forward, or you can bring them to your sides, to your back, wherever feels comfortable. I like keeping mine in front, forward. And then go ahead and release back to warrior one and switch to warrior two here. Deep breath, and come to our triangle, reaching that right hand up to the sky, looking up at that right hand. Left hand is on our left leg. And release. Sweep to warrior one. And go ahead and release your hands onto the floor for a forward fold. Halfway lengthen. And release back down to forward fold. We're going to sweep the arms up overhead and inhale and exhale. Come to warrior one on the other side. Right leg back. And when you're ready, push off and come to your balancing position. Try to focus on something in front of you. Try to focus on that balance. And it doesn't matter how high your leg is, just try to balance here and release. Come into warrior two on the other side. And then we're going to flip to our triangle, bringing the other arm up to the sky, looking at that arm. And go ahead and release. Sweep that right arm forward to warrior one. Holding here for a second. And bring the hands to the ground. Come to our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweep the arms up to a chair pose. And we're going to hold it here for a second. And release, forward fold. Deep breath. And inhale, come back to that chair. I always feel this one so much, so don't worry if you don't get deep in that chair position. And release. Back to our forward fold. Roll up through the spine. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. And exhale. I like to interlace the arms behind the back and look up, just giving that your back a nice good stretch. And release. We're going to bring the arms down to the ground, stepping our feet back to a plank. And Chaturanga Dandasana. And then come to a tabletop position. Reaching that right arm up to the sky, looking at that arm, And we're going to feed it through the left side. Taking a deep breath here. And release. Do the same thing on the other side. Left arm up to the sky. And exhale. Feed it through on our right side. Twisting our lower back, upper back, and then go ahead and release to that tabletop position. Push back. We're going to come to a plank, and then go ahead and stack your feet. Try to balance on one side. If it's hard for you, you can put your foot on the ground in front of you, but I prefer to keep it back. Whatever feels best, and go ahead and just try to balance here. And we're going to bring that top leg up for a star position. Big inhale here, and exhale. Come back to our plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. And we're going to come to the other side, stacking that feet, reaching that arm up to the sky. And of course, you can bring that top leg in front to help you balance, or stack your legs and bring that top leg up for a star position if you're in that stacked position, if you want something a little more challenging. And release. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale and exhale, push back into child's pose. Take one more deep breath here. And then on your next exhale, we are going to go ahead and come back to a seated position on our mat. And rolling back onto your back. Just hugging the knees into the chest. Go ahead and release that left leg down, straighten it. Hug that right knee in and fold it across the body. Looking at that right hand. And inhale, bring it back. I like to grab my leg and just give it more of a stretch if you would like. Straighten the knee and grab the ankle or the feet, whatever feels best. We're going to come bring it back, and same thing on the other leg. Bring it in. Drop that left knee to the right side of the body and looking at your left hand. Deep breath here. If you want more of a stretch, go ahead and bring that leg back and straighten it out and drop it to that right side. Or keep your knee bent, whatever feels best for you. And release. Go ahead and come up to a seated position on our mat. I prefer the butterfly position. It just feels better for my legs and my hips. Go ahead and roll out the neck and roll it to the other side. And then we're going to sweep the arms up overhead. Big inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today in this practice. I hope you enjoyed and I hope you felt your body working and all those muscles coming into play. I will see you guys next time. I'll try to post every Tuesday at 6. So I hope whoever watches decides to tune in then.